As a producer, you've probably made loops, whether you're trying to make a melody for your own beat or for some loops to send out. And trust me, I know how it feels to sit there with those garbage loops, those melodies that suck. So let me show you how to make better loops right now. One thing I really recommend you do is go up to your tempo, right click it, press on tap, and just kind of like feel a bounce, feel like a groove, what you want to go with. Let's lay down some bass notes. You don't have to start it with bass notes. You can start it with chords. I was gonna go with a 1/6 progression, but people have been getting mad at me for using it too much. So instead, we're gonna go with a 1/4 progression. I like to start out by laying out just kind of my chords. Move this down to make the chords sound more dark. So what you should do from here is break up the chords. You can do this by arpeggiating them, actually taking the notes and chopping them up however you want. We just need a better instrument. I just don't want all that low end. While I'm listening to what I already have, like the most basic thing possible, I'm just kind of hearing little pockets where I want to put something else. And one thing I want to think of doing is kind of layering these chords in there somewhere. You do need to think about your sounds and kind of how they fit together. When I'm making a melody or layering something, I'm always just kind of thinking what would go well with this. So I'm just kind of accenting certain parts right now. And you'll very quickly realize that that's a big part of making a better loop. Now you've got like your chords, you've got your chords layered. You want to find some room in that nonsense to lay down some other kind of melody. And I'm going for like a dark vibe, so I just want like something really basic. I'm trying to like have some structure to my counter melody, and a lot of people kind of forget the structure and how important it is. Oftentimes having something repeat will make it sound more catchy. A lot of the common melodic structures will have a section repeat. So like this is like the A section, and then I got like a B section, and then everyone likes to laugh at this, but this is my C section. So I feel like I want like some kind of key, a little spooky vibe. Since I just kind of threw a piano down here, I feel like it'd be really nice to layer the bass notes as well. I want to strum these because it's a piano. I want to give it a bit more of a natural vibe. And then for the rest, I'm just gonna go to the tools and humanize it. Now, I don't want too much low end in my melody. And a lot of people get this mixed up, or they just don't do this right. And that is creating space. You want to find room for every kind of thing that you're adding in. My melody here is mainly taking up the low end, and my other two melodies are not. Something that a lot of people don't do is they don't use stereo separation enough, and that is just this little knob here in the mixer. When it's blue, that means it's stereo separation. When it's purple, that means mono. So stereo separation just takes the sound from that mono signal, spreads it out to be more stereo. All right, so what you want to do for your melody, you've kind of got something down. Like this is 3 patterns, it's basic, but it is nice. What you want to do is you want to find some kind of phrases or some sounds, some ear candy. It can be an ARP, it can be a pad, it can just be a one shot, for Christ's sake. This is where you can have a little bit of fun. Like it's like scrapbooking here. So I like to just kind of find like random flute runs or just like percussion loops. What key is this, right? So you gotta take your sample. I'm using a one shot, tech pitch regions, it's C. That's all fine, except for we are in D sharp, so we gotta go up 300. And while we're here, you know what, let's pitch it down an octave too. And already it sounds cool. First of all, I'm gonna make it fit a little bit better with the frequencies. And at this point, it is kind of like you are making another melody. You're using the tools you have in a little bit different of a way. Now, another way you can take your loop game to the next level is by adding in percs and textures. Personally, I already know my favorite texture sound. It's one that I made. It's in my Overgloom trap bundle. Now I'm also going to add in a perc loop. These are great for adding in some kind of like bounce just to your melody. I usually like to stretch my perc loop to be twice the length that it should be. I'm going to track this, and I want to keep most of the lower drum hits because I don't want all of this to be going into everything that I have. Just like that, we took this little 3-pattern melody and we added in all this, like we more than doubled its size. But what you really want to do from here is you want to take everything you have, arrange your stems. This is going to save your life, my life, everyone's life, whoever sees your loop. You want to leave like 4 bars, 8 bars, 2 bars of space in between. It's up to you. There's no golden standard. Personally, I prefer 4 bars. And realistically, for arranging your loop, you don't need to think about it too much. Just make something short, 24, 36 bars, and make sure it sounds good.